This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
I was a man movie about Boadu TV. So the best of first time I na while like video, just comment or comment section. Mo na wa share my or like so here aye pa yerase. Na tie yembo rem Kevin Taylor kachika wakasa dia fa men se na no mesi kwa enome moye de na ye this scandal bi so aba ya say Airbus Scandal ya sa kokofa de aba a chese ho asem nya secretary kra Mahama na eboni din ene yesoma nso koto Airbus bi mbra yesoma ne sei na o chese asem no de anodi pa na Sammy Gyamfi ni no ebompu nimpu abefu mpunimpu online ma wacheche mu scandal ye de bo Mahama so boy de bo Mahama se Airbus wonsem no ye hwan no wacheche ni nyina mu ama sisia de wo hwe Mahama wa ise sorobofo no wa te Mahama ho se hwan musem wo ha ye de ma osanso na Dr Bawumia ha kabitela cheso trofa sembi okebiansi so enti mayen to aba ma oto aba Bawumia wa to aba amekufado ne tetem enti musem ho ye kuti kabitela
Kevin, anybody open or crack now with Jim kind the DPA, what we call the Deferred Prosecution Agreement between Airbus and the UK authorities. The conclusion you could come to A1 say as far as Ghana government is concerned, Ghana Bambu Penny be anywhere. In the DP, your bold dean can say a dance here or say, Wadia de Mudia, and now I catastrophs the prohibia. It's ya Ghana mra, and now UK mra, and now I ye ama of my Ghana aboka. There was nothing like that in it. It's not something in our say, and I said, there will be a government official one being a used to say, will be. Nani nuye bika enhyehyeye ne ho na yadwen ye say e bia wo ma ne bra it as ade akwakoye anansese bi so
Sammy, I know you want to try and build a Airbus assembly nyina ma obi ate ase, but I want us to start from how it actually started. From the records we have, the President of the Republic actually wrote to the Special Prosecutor's Office. Saturday Martin Amidu and because you say among 40 as you send Airbus as same way it could be OSP office. You two OSPs, but Namidu Aba Oko any Kusija Ben so Honde. What from all that happened, what do you think the president was seeking for him to pick Airbus as same way to personally write to the Special Prosecutor to investigate? Because there were issues to say PDS. There were other very important, criminal issues. Let me say it that way. Now Ghanaians were expecting the president to at least tell the Special Prosecutor to look into. So, dear Naosha, a prompted president, and I say made the president decide as a way there is very important to me, and that the Special Prosecutor's Office is the best place to start the investigations. Into at least when we start from there. Ghana for be maybe a start free.
Yes, so I made say my starting common free. And let me retreat as some kind as an penisi abasoba ne mejapai. The complainants are they complain we a Office of Special Prosecutor. Say on share sa Airbus assembly is none other than Nana Adodankwa William Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana. Or no, or order the Executive Secretary Nana Santi Bedietu. Managed in such share kratase a complaint or if you like a petition to the Special Prosecutor say Yatese or no Atesa Assembly UK are buying everything about Airbus aircrafts via Omotoma Ghana buying in 2011 and 2015. Now, on to say abamu mpanyinfoɔ bi samre no ejeje bribes eye kata hyehyɛ ne proya ama Ghana ahwere sika. But I'm not making it up. If you look at the statement the presidency issued to inform Ghana for President Akufo-Addo has ordered the executive secretary to file this complaint with the office of the special prosecutor. And one thing is very telling, and that is the last sentence of the statement Eugene issue at that time for on behalf of Akufo-Addo. And that should tell you Adigya Akufo-Addo team when he was, sending this matter to the OSP. And Kayehu Yeka, Asembia Bana or Mampini Pesi Yemu. And Kadiobeka say, OSP, Ye Pa, no Krewumua, a Bemay in a Yahu no Krewasemi. But no, Akufo-Addo was not interested in unearthing the truth. It would see an Asemo Kayana or say, special prosecutor and say Ghana Libya and Hobon in accordance with Ghanaian law. So it was based on the presumption say Ghana Abemu Penibia Yaboniti and Tenaso. That was it. And you see, for you to understand this evil agenda of the NPP, you must look at the smear campaign or my wage against John Mahama. For so many years, I didn't started. NPP for who said, Onipa bi atuni mu asi wo se ode no beba afori amagana or wadwempa wo susuepa wo aniswade hu amagana. No one said they cannot beat the person when it comes to vision, when it comes to policy. They come after your character. So they cook, they concoct wicked lies against you. They did it to Nkrumah. Their forebears. We don't know what papa no Omuna ye Nkrumah sa Nkrumah kofa kan Kenya mia bagana. Nkrumah de Ghana sike nyina ya kusumbuda mu wiesika na Nkrumah ba ko ware Egypt ni ba na say Nkrumah. But after say Ghana for you two Nkrumah so sa, you two Nkrumah wie no. Ghana for bibiri no mu say papa ye ni na ni ye. It is the same thing this MPP tradition decided to do to John Mahama. And it started from 2009, President Mahama be a vice president, and between 2012 and 2016 obey campaign because they saw that this man was transforming Ghana in every sector. And President Mahama Greater Accra Regional Hospital, the Federal Ridge Hospital. Who said Dine Fair. Ebebe nipa do Mahama no ma to Abama. Until they attach corruption to it. We see hospital, but at what cost? The project cost is inflated. President Mahama, ye Kumasi airports in their own stronghold. A 24-hour operating airport by installing aeronautic landing lights. Ebetumi plane etu anadwo na si Kumasi anadwo. At the first, I was President Mahama, or a confor. I didn't know why any day. And you know what I said no more or the body be out. And I said, what making Ghana for your dance for? President Mahama will hotels, it would Dubai. President Mahama will do yacht, ne ship, it would Tokyo. President Mahama, the $10 million are printed presidential diaries. And President Mahama has been a victim of lies and deception. Now, President Mahama, you two are no based on Satro, Manekotran. Na edibe efie naya MPP abetena konya so a omunye nya dance tie ba akokora to establish any of those false claims they made against Bahama. So omote say UK assembly siwo about Airbus. Na omo suspicion is that it may involve a relative of Mahama. Omo who said this is their golden opportunity to bury Mahama's political career. This was their golden opportunity to finish Mahama. In fact, I know some of them, by the time they are done with Mahama on Airbus, Mahama Crown, he will be disqualified from contesting the election. So that was the game plan. And what Akufo-Addo gave no boy and said, or be exploited the bitterness of NDC near on John Mahama falling out, which was the first special prosecutor, Martin Amidu. Now, when you sue NDC need to go after John Mahama, say the Ghana for will not see his real intention. But in Kenya, me say, Martin Amidu no call who a Boadu soon in the bank. He saw that these guys are not honest. These guys are just using me. These guys are more corrupt than where I am coming from. That is why he labeled Akufo-Addo as a mother serpent of corruption. After his life, they wanted to kill him, like they killed Ameswali, and he resigned. And Martin Amidu came out to tell us, you can Google it. Say Akufo-Addo mounted pressure on him. Year to 2020 abano. Akufo-Addo saw Jesse Martin Amidu so say, waiting a mayor or special prosecutor to make Kiane King for a report to be bad. They didn't care about the truth. All they wanted was to get a statutory anti-corruption body to indict Mahama for corruption. Now, what we Mahama, ya Jojo, ya Gunufi, ya Senidi. But you see, Kevin, we are seeing Mahama. Say, Uyi wa kuma musa wube somo mai sompa. Your legacy will speak for you. Time will vindicate you, and God will speak for you. They said, "Dear Joseph, ni nuanum bi ye say, ye tie no so nyame ye anwanwasema ni be ye ni pakese no. Eno na esi Ghana. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia thought we have finished Mahama. They thought they were burying him, but they didn't know he was a seed and he was going to sprout out from the ground. And we took Akufo-Addo assembly. He was Akufo-Addo Kasa was Airbus assembly even than MPP communicators like Richard Anyangba and Dennis Miracles Abuaje. Okojina Simpieso Ghana Bar Association Conference. I am lawyer for you and she mua Kahodia Okwa Emrasem any impuntu sem na Okokanko. And what Okojina Oka said, Mahama is government official one in Airbus Scandal Awaje bribe is corrupt. Castigated Mahama. Sir, people like Usu Ben Panon, I mean, useless characters in the MPP saw this as a bonanza to destroy an innocent man. So, to answer your first question, this was the grand scheme, this was the grand agenda. And the agenda went deep into it. And some trouble for the in all the media houses, they contracted them to always say John Mahama is government official one and attach John Mahama with bribery and corruption. But if you read the deferred prosecution agreement involving Airbus, Airbus has settled the matter with the UK authorities. You will see, sir, Airbus for the G2 who's on my own for so. But John Mahama, and Anania, and Anabamu Penny be anywhere. You can't be in that agreement to say, why am for so? Today, you know, you busy. Na ene and from Abama, Pocotwa, the Wama, no about the Tubia. And as we move along, you may call OSP reports anymore. And will be at the same way.
From what we heard today, free a special prosecutor. No, Obibe Tumebusa say, Nana Dankwe Akufo-Addo has this set the ground for people in higher office to be investigated by anti-corruption agencies. And Kenyan Danki him say President John Mahama availed himself or called the special prosecutor's office when he was invited. Even though Ghana and Branach say OBD president now free swear. There were 3 years to do that, to be calling you in, to be questioning you. Time I would be president, you won't fear me and some fear me and Sunny Chuma. I bind to me and Shada and Kase. Mrebia na would be president, no, Odon Huko Frofra Bibimunti, Yebeta or Sebra, the be in Samano. But after almost 8 years, I will free Abemono. Something that has never happened in the history of this country before. A former president just avails himself, walks to the office of the special prosecutors, a special prosecutor, and says, question be person Busame. Now, majority of the people talking about fighting corruption. I believe this is the first step if somebody wants to fight corruption. And if you want to fight corruption, it should start from your doorstep. And if a former president, it to me, 829 accord the special prosecutor's officer, doesn't mean, say, Nanado Dankwe Kufuado, this government, this Airbus issue that they forced on Ghanaians, he has set the grounds for when people are out of office, should and must be called to answer questions. And the must is used advisably because Imrani is 3 years, right? But morally, do you think that if Akufo-Addo is out of office after 3 years and he's called to answer questions on a few things, you think it would be right for any anti-corruption agency to do that?
Absolutely, my brother. Or in Penisi, a bar the boat teaching, and no one near the Beboba. And in Penisi, also say, oh, real phone, sir. Now I show you. You see, I am the say Akufo-Addo ankasa, and I am the complainant in this matter.
Yeah.
Or the John Mahama come as special prosecutor say as far as this matter is concerned. And by doing that, he has set a precedent. Why a chance and now hobia to and no nebeye susidia ama wono ne Bawumia when they leave office. Because they cannot subject Mahama to one standard and expect that a different standard will be applied to them. No, the same standard will apply across board. President Mahama, he said it in Tamale during our campaign launch. You are a servant of the people. Now, the current one say at any given time you can be held accountable, and you must be ready to avail yourself. It will share. Jumedia would deal it in peace and chair cry on a central for Dikita. Okay, I say, me, Mitrimufita, Makuma Mufita, meaning say, me more may you chronoda. And until I am daring the government say, Opa, or we don't know investigations we are, no prosecute you. Say, my fat and buying sika once in the ground. And you see, Kevin, this is a very profound statement. Not every leader can speak like that. Because, and yet easy say, we be here MP for 12 years, 3 terms, like John Mahama. Deputy Minister for Communications, Minister for Communications, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and President of the Republic of Ghana. Now, wait, me I bold that can say, my record is there, my hands are clean. I dare you to investigate me. And only somebody or you're confident in his own integrity and his own track record. So, was some of mine some power, one fan and some more mine seek between Yakasa. And President Mahama has been consistent on this. And one man who quite number and a precedent has been set. And Nipamo in the date into 8th August 2024. Because at all costs, I am confident on the 7th of December 2024. Actually, 9th December they declare. And when that change happens, accountability will happen. Now, accountability will start from the top. And until Akufo-Addo will be subjected to the same standard of accountability. Edru wa yem pese nipa bi be bodom pese ye be demonstration na ye tata will be there because Dr Mahama special prosecutor a friend who are investigating Upudo me Sammy Gyamfi kwa wa mama mane wa mo ndi senior mane bi ase ye nkoye demonstration bia intia special prosecutor say ye tata. He subjected himself peacefully, willingly, answered all the questions. Time he made himself available. And that is the same thing we would expect from Akufo-Addo. As for Bawumia, Vice President, there will need immunity. And a president now, constitution certain immunities from prosecution. That does not apply to a vice president. Enti Omoboa PDS are conform Omobebuji Sika over 2 billion cities like Dosa, Omafedikwa, Amagana, Boka. $180 million a US workers on modern prayer and account. Talking about Bawumia. And now are benefiting from illegally so sourced contracts. I award Yamawomo. our Auditor General, I established said all those contracts were overpriced 3 times more the price it wasn't Ghana buying to. All these people who face the music of accountability, they should make no mistake about it. It is an important precedent. Let's take note of it. Nedru ona MPP fu soldier. Ni ase Brazil ID headquarters ana OSP ho be dede mo bia. Emma because President Mahama all kono no kwa party
Sammy,
no.
Yeah, Sammy, this brings me to my next question. After the announcement or the presser by the special prosecutor, no, yahu MPP phobia omakasa, like the deputy general secretary of the NPP. I mean, I should not relevant to me. Should I name the ding or a DB and a member of parliament, Mr. Pia Kubi, and Swakasa. Now, Ibim said the OSP did a bad job. I honestly, I don't think say Sanka OSP ni ba no kaka say Mahama is guilty and Kamobeka said the OSP did a bad job. So but some of the arguments they are making in the say excuse me. Argument in the say John Mahama, as far as Omaka say, oh yeah, government official one. At a point he was the chairman of the Armed Forces Council, no, and became a president, no. He sat through meetings into he had direct influence on this process. Now, it brings me to this. There are a lot of agencies that has been put together, and these agencies are directly under the office of the president. When you pick an agency like the Free SHS, it falls directly under the office of the president, meaning it takes direct instructions from the president's office. If anything goes wrong with the Free SHS Secretariat, something goes wrong, it's a planting for food and jobs, which was basically established under the office of the president. Say, come and I is simpler. A president, technically, Nipa Omuye Jumamana directly, no, a president in the office, which is Boadu. One district, one factory was established under the president's office. We have agencies like Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program, IPEP, your Ghana School Feeding Program under the office of the president, your railway development, your Agenda 111. Would it be fair in the future if an investigation is open into all these agencies that were directly under the office of the president, and the president is called to also answer questions? Would it be fair if in the future anything like that happens?
Yeah, it will be very fair, very, very fair. But you see, let me deal with Sansim Bununa Omua and then Guasia to Omonomoke. Can you see MPP for any Guas? And then the sources of Jubilee House tells me that after the press conference of Kisie Jaben, I mean, the place was in a mess. Arewa bomb, Omo ponto of Akufiko, because Omo need that swore to destroy John Mahama and the Unyamia saying by ensuring say special prosecutor the no correct Trodono Ebeba. And so they are now shifting the goalposts. You can almost say special prosecutors say UK for now. Inti no chere say you know no seem to be why near humanity simplicity, because you see the UK authorities Omunya Omutitin Sanse winning are involving Airbus, which is a company registered in the UK. They engage in civil negotiations to find an amicable settlement with Airbus. So once they have settled the matter with Airbus, by law, Omun to me, and Mammy, Church the Moon Charles win Airbus, they cannot do that. I don't think it's yet Matanami do call UK SFO for mutual legal assistance or why or share information. He didn't get any feedback. Kisia Jaben so called and he didn't get any feedback because the law will not allow the UK authorities to divulge any information. And Kisia Jaben announce and yes, Kisia Jaben say UK for no information to me the Adamaniwan and media draw the conclusion. No, Also, because UK4 arm information or Monsan Cabinet, or no one Casa, a year in from scratch. So he conducted a full probe on his own. Paragraph 6.1, it is there will say the OSP's mutual legal assistance requested from the UK and US authorities place the OSP in a position no better than any person who read the DPA and the decisions of the UK and US courts on the Airbus matter. It was not a lack of industry or want of trying on the part of the OSP. In the end, the OSP conducted the investigation on its own. However, the DPAs, that's the deferred prosecution agreements, and the decisions of the UK and the UK courts served as a vital foundation for the OSP's investigation. Therefore, the OSP investigative outcomes are substantially similar to that of the SFO and the DOJ, that is the Department of Justice of the United States of America. And you say, why you should do work? Or say, yes, information I'm but I conducted my own investigations. All the people involved, including Dr Mahama, I identify, he interrogated all of them. The UK SFO did not interrogate John Mahama. The United States DOJ did not interrogate John Mahama. But Kisia Jaben, the special prosecutor of Ghana, interrogated John Mahama. And to Olupono, more comprehensive investigations. And I'll say, any US for any UK for the which is that number one, Kevin. Process now. Even before I go to the process, you see, there are a lot of the people now. I would say Airbus. And then John Mahama, they don't really understand it. Why should John Mahama be involved in the procurement of aircrafts? Let's help them. You see, John Mahama in 2009 became Atamel's vice president.
Yeah.
Ghana, so we are vice president, automatically, we are chairman of police council and chairman of the Ghana Armed Forces Council.
Yeah.
We are chairman automatically. And a soldier for Air Force or the final approval must be given by the Ghana Armed Forces Councilor, chairman a vice president. And Tiko Pencil 2008 and Ghana Air Force Council place in Nayadada. It almost peacekeeping. They are not safe, so they want to change it. So at the time, the Americans even wanted to give us planes maybe for free and even train our pilots. They take home. But I buy for buy, sign money delay. So America arrangement now working. Place now no somebody my no time one year which is by 2011 not ain't ready by that. So I decided say similar aircraft able to the same work but even at a cheaper cost. And until Ghana soldier for when your politicians, the Ghana Armed Forces, specifically the Air Force, settled on plane a friend of Casa C295. Say so the military command took their own decision and they came to inform Abai. Abai no why the man John Mahama as vice president. So John Mahama had to be involved in the discussions. Say plane belly talk. What type, what specification? A war belly and talk. You bet to me at Ghana say Ghana. That was John Mahama's role in the arrangements. And yes, John Mahama was a busybody sitting somewhere and Ghana so that Foko to play or then work for the world. It is because his work made him the chairman of the Ghana Armed Forces Council. Now the special prosecutor found 5 important things, and quickly let me run through them. Number 1 is the procedure Ghana buying the tall aircraft. Special prosecutor saying if you move in acquire Ghana Air Force for Ghana Military Command for my first of the plane. A choir and mratcher was almost fast. A quina so and these 3 aircrafts are from Casa, your friend Casa 295. I got off from Airbus. No, a quina so and NDC are buying a fast. Young Quetim Brano, young Quetin Shayano. We follow due process. And so open evidence now. You can look at the report, specifically paragraph 6 points. Most starting reading from 6.3. Also, the OSP investigation shows that in the general scheme of affairs, the acquisition of operational assets by the Air Force is driven by national and operational requirements. When a need is identified, the Air Force Command develops a technical paper upon which providers are requested to make presentations on technical details, logistical support, and cost. If a provider meets the requirements, a formal contract in the form of a sales and purchase agreement are drafted by the provider for the consideration of the Air Force. Thereafter, stakeholder meetings are held among representatives of the Air Force, Attorney General's Department, Department of Legal Services of the Ministry of Defense, the Judge Advocate General's Office, and the provider, aimed at arriving at a consensus on outstanding issues and conflicting positions and resulting amendments to the draft agreement. Thereafter, the agreement is submitted to the Ministry of Defense for cabinet and parliamentary approvals. The Air Force then constitutes a compliance team to work closely with the provider to ensure that the delivered item meets the agreed specifications. The processes leading to the purchase by the government of Ghana of the 3 C-295 twin turboprop military transport aircraft from Airbus followed substantially the same pattern. The same pattern. Not just a processor, you top plane, a free tete, ABC Neno. Special prosecutor say, and no one at Dr Mahama and NDC are fast. Military no they request never. You will say we see in your plane, they are requested for proposals. Among for the proposals, the bar near Rebborn, near choose the Rebboa, near your wishes in an parliament for approval. This is the same thing that happened. Planes we need now were approved. Okay, report name. The second thing the special prosecutor found out, and a lot of people don't know this, and I was here pure madri is it. John Mahama knew your friend Samuel Adam Foster. Special prosecutor establishes said only Airbus for a contractor or your agent long before say Airbus for could decide say on aircraft Samagana. Only Airbus are Juma with Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and in Nigeria. Even before Ghana transaction.
So and you say Abia John Mahama be vice or president and okoje license be quickly because of per se. So he was already doing his business. He's an agent already.
As a pilot in South Africa in the year 2000. Trained as a pilot. So he's somebody who already understands the aviation industry.
Yeah.
And or your consultant or board these aircrafts to get deals with nations. And Wabua in Kenya, okay, report now is all there. Wabua in Nigeria, Zambia, Uganda. Now, in the case of Ghana, the decision by Ghana by say Casa 295 aircrafts, and no never boa Ghana. Into no never say your top. Now, you don't free Airbus one. Ghana by taking that decision, way ahead after and Sana John Mahama Nianipu all Basa transaction. Into John Mahama Niana no ne Airbus here Juma that I won't grow be prisoner. Never catch there John Mahama Negana by say Mome Koto plane Casa 295 and 3 Airbus for all. the special prosecutor has found that Ghana government had already taken the decision to buy the aircrafts before John Mahama's brother came into the picture. Where is my evidence? Paragraph 6.6.
6.6. Mamin kind no been bekasa okay can there to go for him. 6.6 says I'm sorry, it's quite small. It also appears that Foster and his associates became involved as intermediaries in the Airbus Ghana deal after the decision by the government of Ghana in preference of the C295 aircraft.
After the decision by the government of Ghana in preference of the C295 aircraft. Jansan over the intermediary for Airbus. Now Ghana decided say plane a aircraft to Kasa 295 that the decision had been taken.
Therefore, it seems that Foster's Airbus intermediary role at the time his brother served as the vice president of Ghana was a case of luckless coincidence that attracted the disapproval of the UK and US authorities.
This is somebody who is an agent for Airbus in other countries. In the case of Ghana, Ghana took its own decision, and the soldiers took the decision, not John Mahama. The military took the decision to buy this Casa 295 aircraft from Airbus because it is stronger, it is cheaper, and it could be delivered in good time. And Sapra John Mahama Airbus an intermediary in the transaction.
Yeah.
So how did that influence the transaction? Then number 3, Kevin, the special prosecutor found said, yes, John Mahama as chairman of the Ghana Armed Forces Council, he was involved in the negotiations between Ghana and Airbus to get a good deal. Now, the I said, when they can't make it, special prosecutor Mahama did it with good intentions. I'm quoting the special prosecutor. Now, apart from negotiations that John Mahama participated in, Airbus in paying for Ghana, no one called John Mahama office, Minister of Finance, or no my meeting in the presence of other people. Or the Sergeant Mana John Mahama, or ye Ghana ye you are now open. Name Eba Nimriano, Samuel Adam Foster. The agency agreement on the Airbus for the one. Special prosecutor say John Mahama no ni motion. None in Sebian, and no one catch Airbus say Monko family as an agent. Because Nimriano, years before Airbus came to Ghana to sell aircraft was already working with them. And evidence no paragraph 6.5. About talking Kaima or
6.5.
Yeah.
Wait, I said so for a you. All right, 6.5. The OSP investigations found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana. Sorry. Let me take this again. I'm also reading from the phone like the way you're reading from the phone. So, the OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between the former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former.
Good. And the back agency dealer, I said John Mahama no be more. But the back John Mahama participation in the negotiations
he had good intentions. Yeah.
And now the American say first away John Mahama only Airbus why you da Airbus for Ghana no. evidence no paragraph 6.16. Into maybe I wanna from kakra. We 6.16. And also so kind of the past 6.16.
6.16.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. Take it from there. You will read it free.
Okay. On the 6.16, I'll say it also appears to the Office of Special Prosecutor that the relationship between Airbus and Foster and his associates was neither one-off nor peculiar to the Airbus Ghana deal. Airbus had in place similar business partnership models with Foster and his associates in respect of business promotion in other African countries before the Airbus Ghana transaction ended up on.
Before that, Foster the one had the crowd down. Yeah.
In other African countries, this MPP force saying,
yeah,
they can take a good person and demonize him, who now baby so is evil, but that is their stock in trade. You see, my main found free agreement, and I main found call script speech now, special prosecutor. Okay, I'm forwarding a copy to you on WhatsApp so you can follow the relevant portion because this is maybe I drew this is the most important part of the findings of the special prosecutor. This is the speech he read. Now, over page 1. Now, Obabe said, page 2. Okay. What are even page 2 or now? Over from 1 to page.
Indeed, maybe I highlighted Nana.
Okay. Even before that one, the paragraph before that.
This is because.
To us, this because without seeking to critique the UK and US DPs.
Yeah.
The OSP found no evidence, circumstantial or direct, but we mention later, which suggests that Foster and his associates were actually paid bribes, and which bribes were to be transmitted to former President Mahama, and that the bribes were actually paid to former President Mahama. Who were running? No credit new.
Now, something in the show
about bribery because Akufo-Addo's complaint on the court special prosecutor. And then
OSP Cry is not limiting this to only his investigation. So he expanded it to the UK and the US investigations that established what UK and US said they did not find any bribery, corruption, monies paid to JM.
No bribery, nothing of that nature. No bribery. In fact, page 2 page 2 maybe I can check the second paragraph now.
Yeah.
The OSP found no evidence that suggests that the involvement of Foster as an intermediary of Airbus and the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal between Airbus and the government of Ghana amounted to any corruption and corruption-related offenses in respect of which the OSP has a mandate. Into number 1, no bribe. John Mahama, wanje bribe, yentia bribe diama. Number 2, no corruption. Katashe proyebia suni. When the come what we say process no more fast for them. Ninuano no Airbus for we do matter in other African countries. Deal no crown no they negotiate here we answer no conflict of interest. No corruption, no bribery. Now, I'm going call the last page. Now, the way the special prosecutor concluded. And what now was 7 hours can is here, I dance here. Because the other special prosecutor knew said MPP for ya 24. Now, say what the reports in the Babontin say, special prosecutor, UK for say John Mahama Dufo. Now, a special prosecutor, now signed John Mahama. So, the special prosecutor actually referenced the verdict of the Serious Fraud Office of UK on their investigations in respect of Samuel Adam Foster Mahama Nuyano any business partners. Enti Asiawano, this is what is the letter UK Abrofo. Eyo movie or Mutrema Mahama Nuyano. Enna Kisia Gabe, they conclude the press conference and then they will say criminal investigation into Airbus SC and others. I write to notify you that UK for Kwesi Bruni na actually. I write to notify you, Samuel Adam Foster, that following a review of the evidence in your case and consideration of the code for the Crown prosecutors, a decision has been made that you are not to be prosecuted for any offense in respect of the above serious fraud investigation. This decision might be reconsidered if a further review of this decision shows that it was wrong, and in order to maintain confidence in the criminal justice system, a prosecution should be brought or new evidence come to light. And a special prosecutor and the crown will also. It has not come to the notice of the Office of Special Prosecutor
that the SFO has reconsidered its decision.
So
as it stands, it still stays. He's been cleared. Yeah.
Cleared in UK.
Yeah.
Cleared in Ghana. But then people before Detroit say a UK4 found John Mahama the name of Obi guilty so much a bribe. It is not there. This is the evidence. You see, Omar Shetty go post to two new things, which is in the judgment, the report of the OSP. So let's go back to the 25-page report. Now, you're clear, you really open crowd, many budget. And before, just say, Ketrema die, they died at Nipadi, Omkitebi. It's one way they will confuse you here. And they are using some journalists. This is the new agenda. And now hear news and you react. That is the new spin. But in fact, because you know Shishano, John Mahama, or Yabubrokos Yadi said that. The whole souls are or more chrono than to the chrono to the swan about why it's new time. So, Jomodia Bane say, oh, special prosecutor, listen, John Mahama, and Bolivia, name Mumno, Nimiano, Ekangonintino, not conflict of interest. So
no.
we are talking about conflict of interest. Journalist. But the young the special prosecutor, a kind of the young say, was it even a finding of fact? No. It was Nadjane, or no, can Nadjane. And I walk say, some people could have legitimate grounds to have suspicion. Suspicions. Never there is conflict of interest. But I said people could have suspicions. Now let me read that part to you. Paragraph 6.7 of the reports.
6.7. Okay.
Now 6.8. Or say, in fact, let me start from 6.7 so that it will make sense. The OSP found no evidence that suggests that the involvement of Foster as an intermediary of Airbus and the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close a deal between Airbus and the government of Ghana amounted to any corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of which the OSP has a mandate. However, it ought reasonably to have occurred to former President Mahama that the government of Ghana that the familial relationship between former President Mahama and Foster and the direct participation by former President Mahama in the communications and meetings with Airbus officials were bound to raise reasonable suspicions underlined of improper conduct and dealings, notwithstanding any claims to good faith conduct and above board dealings, especially in light of the fact that during the first Airbus campaign, former President Mahama was the chairman of the Armed Forces Council by reason of his position as the vice president, and therefore a key decision maker. Into the special prosecutor, he's not saying he said there was conflict of interest. When he came, what we said, Ghana by taking the decision to buy the aircraft and Sakra and John Mahama ever be involved. And there was no corruption, no bribery, due process was followed. He's only saying, say, and I'm saying, actually, no, Airbus introduced John Mahama as their agent. Now, was saying, John Mahama who said, Ninia can't want it. A bill to be a suspicion is a conflict of interest view. That's all he's saying. Suspicions. And a multitude of suspicions doesn't constitute crime. It doesn't constitute a fact. And it is not true. Say, special prosecutor say, now there was conflict of interest. I said people could have legitimate grounds to have suspicions and one another.
But are we looking for corruption, bribery?
Oh, we are looking for suspicion.
We are looking for suspicion. That at the end of it, that's what the whole thing comes
exactly.
to.
What is the bottom line?
Yeah.
Was there corruption? Special prosecutor says no. UK are professing no. Was there bribery? Special prosecutor says no. Was there
it's like Jakwama Semia, Jakwama ambulance. Are we looking to retrieve our money as a nation, or because even Big C is offering to give you money? Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Exactly.
And these are journalists on TV. That is the argument they are making.
What they are trying to monitor the hell with this will be their new line. To Ghana, they are not here. That is not what is there. He is not saying that there was conflict of interest. What Chim said, there was no conflict of interest, no corruption, no bribery. Due process was followed. He is only saying, "Say, Unmiaka Womintino." And was saying, "Who said amount for which we are suspicious?" He said there is conflict of interest, not that there was actual conflict of interest. Then he also continued. I believe 6.10 or say. Then again, the direct participation of the president and the vice president on behalf of the republic in commercial communications and meetings with commercial entities should not be encouraged either, as they expose these elected high officials to the specter of the slightest hint of perceived corruption that may attend international business transactions. The president and vice president should be insulated from such direct commercial dealings.
This is an advice. This is basically an advice.
Advice. Oh, when people follow when you go as an aquatam. Say, your mama, everybody. I saw one temple fool. I said, I don't know what is going to happen.
This is an advice, straightforward. Yeah, Mommy, who is say, you're paying for the and that's all.
Any company be contract. President and vice president in chain. No ministers.
That's all.
And I don't know. But even me, because I told you, the vice president, the president, they are really passionate about a certain transaction.
Yeah.
Their involvement alone to me, my businessman. Now, yet if you crack in our ordinary lives, Kevin. Everybody say you are looking for a certain deal. Loud silence media. On now when you're or you are worthless, let me put it that way. On more ability to get a good deal. And it's a one negotiation.
Sometimes there are some source they talk to they are difficult to deal with, but at due point you always say, okay, our boss will talk to you. And when I step in, the person opens up. So okay, you see, I'm like Kevin, so I'll give the information.
Because your system of governance is a presidential system of democracy. All the executive powers of state are vested in the president. And on one pony be a minister. The minister is there at the behest of the president. That's why the president can hire and fire him. And when it's a minister now in a year, and one time say when you go the president so never. Into do baby a vice president or a president can get involved in communications with an entity to ensure say Adena Yetono, we are taught the correct thing, the right specifications. We are getting value for money. We are getting delivery on time. There is nothing wrong with that. It's an attempt to shift the goalpost.
Yeah. There's one thing to who said media need be here. They want to shift the whole thing too, especially when the announcement came out to say the former president has been exonerated and that
Airbus Scandal nyinaa, but you could see some of the news outlets. Almost captions need be to say, special prosecutor unmask John Mahama as government official one. They leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's terrible because right now the argument is switching to government official one and John Mahama. But the issue is you cannot vindicate John Mahama without unmasking who is government official one. Because go ahead.
System about a certain government official one.
Yeah.
So they talk saying once special prosecutor Becca said John Mahama is government official one. I was monitoring the press conference. Immediately the special prosecutor said John Mahama is government official one. Then the media guys started doing the flyers.
Yeah.
One can see the role of this so-called government official one. So what you say?
Because OS because government official one has been exonerated. Who is government official one?
Official one.
Yeah, you need to put a name there.
Now tells you this government official one was a vice president who was the chairman of the Armed Forces Council who had good intentions and therefore participated in the communications and meetings with Airbus to get a good deal for Ghana. And he had good intentions in tea. And so then the as chairman of the Armed Forces Council and therefore participated in these things. Or you'll be a correct ranching. Even if the technocrats are doing the wrong thing, and this to tell everybody the man John Mahama that he kind of wants said he's a diligent man, he's a hard-working man. Or didn't start trying to send them from the president, the vice president to be the office. No, he gets involved in the work to ensure that the job is done. That is what this shows. So we now know say sir government official one know he papa. Sir now he had good intentions. Sir now anje bribe dia. Sir now anje kata hye de koye dia. Sir na e bin say. Indikabe maybe the baby ni say. Unyame and apa MPP for Hontuma. Their cup is full. You see, there is judgment against the MPP. That is why and throw maybe out to Mahama a collapse like a pack of cards. These days, the journalists they paid to destroy him. So we will tell us in Dubai. Most of them, I'm sure you have seen that they've come out to apologize to John Mahama. Most of them. And you see, John Mahama is a blessed man because leaders may be their vindication come after they have died.
Yeah, after. Yeah.
Because in Chroma, and the truth was not told, did not manifest, did not come to light when he was alive. But John Mahama there, Nyame Panatan for him to ma abrawatiase. And he's seeing it's like what David said, Psalm 23. Was say he prepares a table. You see, in the presence of my enemies.
Sammy, in the presence of John Mahama's enemies, preparing that table, do you think this will also force our president, who is very vindictive, to find ways to get rid of the special prosecutor, great as in to sack him?
I know, and I can break the story. Me say, in some way, they try to even bribe the special prosecutor. Send a bear can report we and can or the shima indict Mahama. Almost try I'm fan video. They were beginning to report my advance copy and steady. They thought that they would get send Kobunya full stop. Grumpo will report to them with Mahama. Hey! And here Mahama this will go to free Ghana. The Unyame and Chadinti never happened. So they are going after the special prosecutor. That is their stock in trade. MPP4 or mono be cannaboko. When tia or be intimidate, when tia they will come after your life. That is what they did to Amaswale. That is what they did to Martinamido. Drew Baby say his life is at risk. And that is what they are doing to Kisia Jaben. If they try to use you, now Oma Utibua and Kasana will get the Sefata. they will come after you. So very soon, you will see them cooking stories against Kisiye Jabe. They will even say, John Mahama bribe no. Kisiye Jabe no one kofa ne ba you will hear a lot of funny stories. But what here, madam, you see, he who the gods want to kill the first make mad. And until that time, December 7th is not far away. And for everyone watching, maybe I wouldn't end this. Maybe I win the political party. Maybe I want to abate that. This must interest you because in Chanto so, yeah, the be anywhere you change said, you be Chanto so they are saying with Abraham and Sabe Chrono. Into 1 year, the year work, a bay or Yasenka, John Mahama, you will swing here and Kenya with them. Into the next and no credit about Bontia, you would be answer. Number one. Number two, what they should also tell you, they said, John Mahama is not corrupt. He has never been corrupt and he will never be corrupt. He is incorruptible. If you so ne fani ne wakwa ne fie obokro bia en one dance aba. And therefore, say ye pe openimu a or the integrity obetumi aka say me I have been taken through the fire of accountability. And I am also coming to take everyone through the fire of accountability, whether you are Kufuado or you are Bawumia or you are NDC appointee or Famwa. That person can only be John Mahama because he has tasted power, he has tasted opposition, he has been investigated, he has been interrogated, and he has come out squeaky clean. And therefore, he has the moral authority to subject all these Ejapadian thieves to accountability. So, Yesika Bebeba, Bawumia ni Nebusianfo, Akufuado ni Nebusianfo, Atigya Kentens woman be a the only way we can retrieve those monies, prosecute those culpable, jail people, punish people to serve as a deterrence to others, is when you vote for change. It is when you use your thumb on 7th December to bring about the change we need. Because it is only when that change happens and a new government comes into office, a new leader comes into office, and are able to prosecute these people. Omotia konya so improve, we see cash show pass. Bola minister ne de about $1 million. A Bola minister put yeni. Na Bawumia kenufuriata eni Akufuado ni Nebusianfo. And not yes when you say okachre. It ya let's vote for change. Don't make any mistake about it. Let's vote for an incorruptible leader, tried and tested. This Airbus matter shows that Mahama's integrity has been tested. And I hope Bawumia and Akufuado will also subject themselves to the same test.
They also say, from day one at NPP, about power, it has always been lies. From Edubuahin time. In fact, Okowichi, could see a year UP, NLM, ABC, and the NPP, they are very good at lies, and that is their hallmark. Don't let anyone lie to you about, say, NDC ni NPP a pair. The moment UBT says I'm not say, I will be I underestimate your level of intelligence. The NPP, Bitmaka Bibiachro, a party, everything about it is a lie. So we study party in the year, we study Penifo Moma. They have never told Omomudi party ni Chikrano. Party nankasa idea a woman. Adikudienti Omote party. They've not told them. And the offer MPP ni na Busan say, MPP na udi echire no. Adwene ben the techire. Adenti ni ete party no. Nipa ben the tena seka say, minua no momra na yemfa adwene bi ni yenka ekuombom na yemfa nchechire man. They have never told them. And that's what is dangerous about the NPP. So who parties are and shadani ideology papa biya to say adwene po sebio adwene po ebetumi asesa de omani nipa omuwo mabrabo a dangerous. It becomes a criminal entity. And itina say ohwe NDC a any keda na say NDC ni bi obehye bi obuchan say bo party na e party a also a party a social democrat a sojani and a sebio oba beje edien aban and odwene huhum say e wo se kebi mamin kebi no ye nyina eden ye som na ye de chechire man inti oyi eye den the soja aban no oyi free soja aban mu e de ba kebi mami kebi mu na de na eda ne niso pa anase eye ne niso ade ehunu ne se Ghana fo a omo Ghana eye titiri ehiafo a omo sebio omano enkodwom ahokyere eda omo so de aban be ye de ehia omo so abrabo akoyie ene ye fe ne social democracy kebi mami kebi kakra wom aban eboa eto ne nsa e de ehia e de ama nipa omotiman nim ene omodi nsawo so abo omo kwan bebre so ma omo so omo hihia omo sene be ya ye be kayi tirabom akyekyere man. So the bile of the NDC is basically about you. But and the offer MPP ni nebusan say MPP no e dia adwene ne take chire ma moteye obeka oh say nananom oh na say eye otumfo chiame ene yi ni £700 oh ekufuado okay ne nana omo na omo free UGMC UGCC oh onkai NLM eno krampo no eye otumfo what ne chiame oh na enti omo nhede ni focus fafra kobo. But there's a group of women mentality, no, a entitlement mentality. Say I know more and the nkekrunin shit. And it's not till date. The NPP, they have not told the young people of the NPP ever since the ideology, the vision, the reason why the party was formed. Into the moment you start to pose those questions, almost with the matem. Because the people who led the formation of the NPP, you know, they did not lead the NPP because they wanted to build a force, a group, a party that was going to serve the people, but a party that was going to serve their selfish interest and the clan that they lead. There's a difference between a political party and a clan party. A clan party is a party that worships a clan. It worships a group. It worships the prosperity of a few people who think that they are expected or they are supposed to be given what they want before anyone can be served. That is the distinction between the NDC and the NPP. And into the NPP ba power, utie omokasemua eduru we muso, eduru we muso, eduru we muso. Eye japade. It is not a party. When was the last time I want to say NPP about power? I can say edru we muso, edru. It is not like that. They put the position out there and tell people if you think you can win this position and lead, come forward. But anytime yet to me, I prepare about the NPP mubiano na adane fashions. Where you dankwa, where you buzia, where you domo into a line. Where mu di area na we mabedi. Where mu di area na we mabedi into a japade, a heredity. Eye ade bia I say ye chichira to ma enchiriba nko abedi ye busuafo enti asemesi bandi omudi wi a na asemesi sumba aba abedi na asemesi we mumba abedi enti u check party ya ende obetima afre test confor ana MPP fo busam say party no ede na mugina so te party ontumi kanchiro busan say ede na mugina so party we a wudi ekire what are the reasons into a party we came together to me control. Obaga just say MPP there. Yeah, the nanom MPP there. Teteno and to me more a clear cut reason. So the MPP has always not been about Ghana. It has always been about a group. And there Yanana say not everybody who is part of the NPP is part of the group that feels entitled though. A particular group and it's no vice president and almost say party ni Dr Bawumia say ye pa santini tie come betim po aka say ye pakani, but they were specific. The instructions they gave Bawumia say kofa asantini breye because eye ejapade ye dino efie to efie eye busuan we dia na busuan we di ebusuan ne ho nyanto na Ghana ho ntoro, and that is what you need to understand. Then a party mua etumika say kofa a particular tribe ni bra ebe vice president, then party no no ye oni pe bi wo mu a omo hu ni say eye ahinie eye adidie se wa ma ye ndi ade time we are and the party ni ebegu no Ghana ni ebe se no. That is where we are today. Nti the who about Airbus any nsema o maka ato Kwame Nkrumah so nsema o maba be ka to JJ Rawlings so at a point uko Ghana fa baby a every 7 a.m. na JJ Rawlings watema, JJ Rawlings watakrade, JJ Rawlings wukumase, JJ Rawlings omo create bibi to the patim say JJ anopa 7 ono nkwa nipa ba ko no baby ebu obi maame. But till date, nobody has been able to come on national television to say me JJ Bomasum. Nobody in Ghana ever seen there. Kwame Nkrumah se omo kato Kwame Nkrumah so they have not been able to prove one. Omo baya bedru Atamils so see the things they said about Atamils. At a point, omo media, omo nyina ba abonte se Atamils se wu, abra na Atamils wu ye. People actually celebrated and jubilated on the streets of some regions in Ghana. That is the ideology. Enye ye ni a ekronin say yamfa to me na ma ye party ye busua party na property owning party a ekronin say they move forward and they saw the potential in John Dramani Mahama. They saw how humble he served under Atamils, how he listened, how he was trained, how he diligently, honestly served the people of Ghana. The continuation of governance. Sibia obeso eye the Atamils eye ya otoa so he was basically cruising when it comes to governance. After a disruption in 2012, they kept him in court for 8 months. Still, this guy was able to make sure Ofa Green Book and every single project was completed. They knew it, so they started another agenda, and that is the typical MPP. And now Omokotna Demka say, let us find a way for people to hate John Mahama. 2 things: let us use where he's coming from, how his name sounds, and secondly, let us tell the people he's a thief. That is all. Into Ubeso Radio from 2012, John Mahama Crom 4, John Mahama Teni Crom 4. When we didn't come wine at the time, a president who was so humble to obi obehuni biano. Today we have a president who is instructing and for some a Jimmy 4. We still don't see anything wrong with it because Sa group now they still insist said the air cost boneno they are the ebusuafo no ebi mo ha omunya direct relation ebi mo ha omo adwene mu no meka ekuo we nko ahone de so omo Ghana kura I don't care, and that is what I've told you. The mentality, the ideology say enye ye ne de a ekuro ni mbo. Consistently these people have been vindictive, they have been liars, and open party obu twatro party omu twatro omu ya kromfo MPP. They are dangerous. They kill their own and laugh about it the next morning. They murdered JB Dankwa, cold-blooded. The second one minimum. They slit him. Moja tunu throughout the night manuye till date. Nana the Dankwa after almost 8 years on board JB Dankwa ding anywhere. But today they are able to go to Atamils graveyard to go and paint there. This is how dangerous they are. This is how dangerous the NPP is. So do not mess around with them. We are dangerous. These people, this group of people today, the NPP, they are dangerous people. Now you're Ghanaian. You don't have to fight me. You don't have to fight Sammy Gyamfi. You don't have to fight John Mahama. You don't have to fight the NPP, NDC. You just have to fight the people leading you. And the majority of you, Mojuma say, the things you've seen or witnessed under Bawumia and Akufo-Addo in the history of the Republic of Ghana, even under military regime, so we go beyond tribe, we go beyond our religious affiliation, we go beyond our tribal affiliation. It is about our survival. It is about we surviving. How do we survive? There's only one way to survive, is to make sure you vote against these people. It is real. They know it is real. They are baiting you. These people are dangerous people. The Ejapadia book, any Omo constitution, they don't respect the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. They don't respect the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. They only respect this and the lies they will cook. Imagine a foolish boy like Miracles Abuaji. Ya pointing, say obey MC after 2 months. Ya pamono. This foolish boy with a chicken shit beneath his eye. Only shame would be able to go sit on TV, say a book that has been printed, a book that basically people have hard copies. You can say hard copies. Book ya chro ebida obi demono. Or TV so say a man for I edit book. Now class 5 book I can ya edawo demono. How can somebody sit in Accra and edit the book? Then a media house, then Paula and Chobewuno, because you're Bonidiano, they entertain this because the MPP, they thrive. They thrive on lies. They are terrible. They are bad people. And you're a tro any other party, no. Everything about the party is a tro. Everything about the MPP is a lie. They don't have any history. The best they can do every time they get the opportunity, they always destroy people to become relevant. So the NPP, they always destroy good people to become relevant. Alan Kojo Kyerematen did everything possible in his career as a politician. He did everything possible to protect the NPP. He did everything possible to serve the NPP. At the end of the day, they said Alan Kojo Kyerematen is not one of them. They found ways to disgrace him, to embarrass him. This is one of their own. Alan Kojo Kyerematen was supposed to be the president before Akufo-Addo. Today, Alan is their greatest enemy. And if they get him today, they'll kill him. That is the hallmark, the bile, the modus operandi. That is what the NPP, their blueprint, that is what is made up of. They are not affiliated to anything. They are affiliated to greed. They are affiliated to corruption. They are affiliated to lies. The party was built out of lies. And it's not some say, "Na mumu free here, omuntimi nkanchiro." And it's not some say, "Pathway adwene ben ye de teye, yentumi boni pa ba akudin." And it's not say, "Pathway ehine free ba ye omuntimi nka." If you said the party was formed out of greed, hatred, selfishness, that is the NPP. Memo be nada. You might hate me, I understand. You might hate me because I say I like John Mahama. I like his way or his style of governance. I like the NDC because they have continuously developed this. You might hate me, but think about yourself. Endra na Kwame Amoako. Endra chi na eya Ataba ewo eye Techiman South. Endra 4 days ago na eye Kwame Prince ewo eye Ayawaso West Wagon. Endra chi ya amanfomba miensa 3 Virgins Western Region Takrade. Endra chi na eye Nkransa Ochina ebetuma yawo. And this MPP is daring. They are dangerous. Let us come together, irrespective of whatever is happening. The thing is one. Vote against the NPP and save yourself. Moma yanko tie eye concert bi ekoso Ghana egigim. Asimesi. It's exactly 6:36. Time day inside. Time ni temu se mampon hina bomu. Na asem ni nyina say Mahamudu Bawumia ko kasa, and what is he saying? Or saying, asimesi no bodam ako kasa bebi obegine bi akeka nsem hunu. Bodam say city depreciation dey na waka. Or say Dr Mahamudu Bawumia commits to stabilize the city by improving gold for reserves program. Bawumia say sesiano ono or the gold and ebeti city dollar na ho den so ama city abenya ho den Bawumia nya okay. Or something I keep telling young Ghanaians and Ghana for amokoto aba Bawumia wabreo Mahamudu Bawumia, he's tired. We made a big mistake in 2012, 13, 14 to listen to Bawumia. On say ende or say oba gold na yetuno sesiano tax edaso obeteso na ama gold no yenya dodo no yenya gold dodo a ene ne bema sidi no ahode na basro. Mahamudu Bawumia ene beka kire say gold for oil. Mr. S, just pull some headlines for me. Obeji ebeka kire Ghana for say ono and I introduce gold for oil. Now the reason why I introduce gold for oil, yemfa gold no raw no enko Dubai enko to the petrol. Na no the dollar na ba form. Since it's Bawumia introduce gold for oil, city na kosro over 1,000%. Since it's we introduce gold for oil no, city na ntumi njina na so ama city no, because I remember time Bawumia introduce gold for oil, na dollar no around 12. Today as we speak, the dollar is around 16. Into busa ho say na edia policy na we introduce here ama dollar no every baby na ejina aba bedru 16. And the worker say in the next 3-4 months yen to aba ma wo ye tuma oba obesa de gold aba ma dollar na ho de na aba from na cedi no sebio enya ho den it looks like the guy is he's insane. That's the word I can use. With all due respect to him, because his inconsistencies is becoming too consistent. I say in Samna Okano, Adada ne womuno, Atro ne womuno, Debiano or Shemukena, or Mano Ejinane Naso, Sanka Oyeni Pebi cry, he will move away from the inconsistencies in his statement. But it is looking like because Bawumia ni team, anytime they meet, they basically think say Ghana ni biya, we are Ghana ni our Ghana, they way Jimmy. And that part, Sebio, the editing party a atrono, and one also ojina so edgy to me. And when I do sometime ebijina na ma yebufu. If you say Nipana on the Kasano, he does not respect Ghana for adwene do mutim. Na adwene nyina ye ne say e common a demo, ye de sika beba, ye de ba e wo so moto abama ye. Munni nyansa ye de dwene. Munni nyansa ye de dwene. Enti the most important things are also more than the moon to mean.